We welcome you inside the Walker Convocation Center on the campus of West Virginia State University as Video Productions proudly presents Mountain East Conference basketball. MEC basketball action is presented tonight by the Little General Stores. Great prices, convenient places. Visit your local Little General Store today. Alongside my partner, two-time NAIA National Coach of the Year, Bob Bolin, I'm Andrew Miller, here to bring you guys live coverage of the opening game of the Mountain East Conference basketball season. Game producer for tonight's live streaming broadcast is Robbie Mounts. Camera operators Josiah Mounts and Garrett Lester, and executive producer for Video Productions is Butch Mounts. What was scheduled to be a late November start to the 2020-21 winter sports season has now become an early January opening date as COVID-19 has extended its influence across the landscape of college sports. Back in October, on the 9th, MEC Commissioner Reed Amos announced plans to move the start of winter sports to January. So, here we are today, ready to finally open the 2020-2021 basketball season inside the 1,300-seat Doris W. and Walter F. Johnson III Arena. Although there will be no spectators allowed for this opening night contest, we are happy to bring you along with us for opening night in the MEC, featuring the Pioneers from Glenville State College and the Yellow Jackets of West Virginia State University. Coach, I'll bring you in here, a mixture of two separate teams here tonight coming into this new season. West Virginia State, the Yellow Jackets, with lots of high expectations for Coach Brian Poore in his 22nd season. He's bringing back a lot of talent from last year, a lot of offense from last year. On the other side, Glenville State and head coach Justin Caldwell, in just his third season, he lost a lot. 14 players gone from last year's program. The difference between these two coming into this game is massive at the moment.
It is, and when you think about that, the Yellow Jackets have extremely high expectations for this year, but Coach Caldwell, Justin Caldwell, is a former boxer and a fighter, and I guarantee he doesn't look at it like, oh, I only have two returning players. He's looking at it positive that, you know, he has two good returners, but he's recruited some good players, and I think he really believes in their style of play. Andrew, they beat West Virginia State twice last year, and he's from Wyoming County. Those kind of guys do not lack confidence. And then on the other side, Brian Poore, he's expecting to compete for a conference championship this year. They got great returners. They got the player all-conference set out last year. So they're set for an all-conference run, but do not count those Pioneers out.
Hey, you mentioned Coach Caldwell in his third season. The cupboard not necessarily bare. In Division II and small colleges, you would know the transfer portal has always been a very active thing. Although you lose 14 off of last year's roster, you lose Bledsoe, who is a big factor, and he is moving on to maybe make a run at professional basketball. You bring back Hagel Augustin, who is the leading returning scorer from last year's team. You've also got Seth Fallon, but you've brought in some guys from community colleges and from transfers who are most definitely talented. The question is, how will they jive to begin the season?
Oh, and in this season, you know, they haven't had an exhibition game. You know, so, that's a huge question. And, you know, when you see these coaches before the game, they look miserable. You know, because you usually know after two exhibition games how your guys are going to play. And they have no clue. They think they know how they're going to play, but they really don't. And, you know, I can remember coaching in college, your first exhibition game looked like a football game. You were so excited, you were fouling everywhere. And I look for some of that early. The referees will have to call it close early. And this game, Andrew, is not going to look like a basketball game. It's going to look different than anything that you've watched. Both teams are going to be pressing full court. West Virginia State will be pressing after they score. Glenville State will be pressing after a make, after a miss, after a bathroom break. They're going to press you the whole time. So this is going to be really fun to watch.
You know, for West Virginia State and longtime head coach Brian Poore, again, in his 22nd season, 324 and 267, they have not finished higher than fourth place in the MEC, coach. But the expectations are real because of that three-headed monster of Anthony Pittman, Glenn Abram, and Jeremiah Moore.
And I'm sure Coach Poore enjoys those expectations. You know, when you have those expectations, you know that you should be pretty good, and when you should be pretty good, you usually are.
Starting lineups for both teams. Anthony Pittman out of Charleston, West Virginia. He's going to move from forward to point guard for West Virginia State. Glenn Abram is your shooting guard out of Chicago, Illinois. Again, Gus Stone, back after a year off last year. He's the 3 guard out of Baltimore, Maryland. Jeremiah Moore is your forward out of West Orange, New Jersey. And Jihad Shockley out of Columbus, Ohio is your other forward for West Virginia State. Seth Fallon will be the point guard for Glenville State. The sophomore point guard, 6'2", 185 out of Parkersburg, West Virginia. Hagel Augustin, the 6'3", shooting guard out of Queens, New York. The 3 guard will be a transfer in this year. John Williams out of Augusta, Georgia. The 6'4" guard comes from Ventura, California, and Georgia Southwestern State University. Nicholas Edwards, also a guard from Atlanta, Georgia. The 6'1" junior transferred in from Lake Worth, Palm Beach State College. And Adrian Scarborough, the junior forward, 6'3" out of Raleigh, North Carolina, comes to Glenville out of Brunswick County Community College. It's a difference in not style, Coach. It's a difference in size, for one, all on the favor of West Virginia State. But you mentioned Glenville State doesn't really care so much about the size. They're going to run you out of the building.
Oh, it is. And let me just give you this one. Nicholas Edwards, he'll slide over to that point guard spot where Glenville plays 4 guards at once. Edwards had a 6-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio at Palm Beach, and he was one of the top junior college point guards in the country. So I know he'll start out a lot playing the 2, but the way Glenville plays, look for him to control that ball a lot.
Yeah, Edwards averaging 15.4 points a game and 4.1 rebounds to go with those 6 assists per game last season, and he transfers in, and he will make an immediate impact, I believe, for Glenville State and head coach Justin Caldwell. Again, Coach Brian Poore, graduate of West Virginia State University back in 1987, and he made his way back here in 1999. He spent 3 years under Greg White at Marshall, followed Marshall from UC with 5 years there. So he's got a lot of, what would you call it in the coaching industry, a lot of time spent under good tutelage.
And then let's look at Brian Poore's tree. He has Jason Slay, an assistant at Youngstown State, and Corny Jackson, an assistant at Marshall. How many D2 coaches can say that they have 2 former coaches that are coaching on the D1 level?
Official Dwayne Nelson enters the center circle, and we are underway. Opening game of the 2020-21 season here in the Mountain East Conference. Coach, I just never thought we would make it to this point. Very excited to watch some college basketball. Even more excited to finally get to broadcast with you again.
Oh, me too, Andrew. Looking forward to this.
Left elbow jumper put up immediately by Pittman. That's off the mark. And here's Gus Stone. We talked about him, Coach. After a year off, how would he react? And that's what he shows he can do immediately.
Oh, nice spin move inside, able to take it up and put it in the basket.
Stone, 2 years ago, again, as you mentioned, was a second-team All-MEC Conference player. He averaged as a sophomore at Prince George Community College. Oh, sorry, that was Jeremiah Moore. I'm talking Gus Stone the whole time. See, that's what I like about having Coach here. You've had to do a lot of retraining over the years.
Hey, you do 2 games at once. I only have to do 1.
Jeremiah Moore, I apologize, was the scorer on that first one. And no slouch himself, the 6'6" senior forward out of West Orange, New Jersey. Again, he averaged 15.5 points a game, 7.6 rebounds a game last year. Talked about he can do it all.
Yeah, very quick, athletic, quick off his feet, nice-looking athlete.
Glenn Abram at the line, and again, Abram is the one that a lot of people are looking forward to coming off of his MEC tournament last year. He averaged 28 points per game in that conference tournament, and he is back for a I know what his expectations are, Coach.
Oh, without a doubt. And here's West Virginia State showing their full court man-to-man pressure after a made free throw.
State out to the early lead, and a great play defensively by Pittman on the move. A deep three pull-up from the right wing. Abram wanting to get going early. In transition, straight to the bucket, and another defensive play by Pittman.
Pittman with a tremendous shot blocker last year, transitioning to the point guard, gets the block on one end, tries for the alley-oop on the other, and turns it over.
He and Jeremiah Moore not on the same page.
West Virginia State with a quick double team on the inbounds against the pressure.
Good active hands and crashing into the scorer's table and into one of the officials. Pittman going full go, just hoping that Dwayne Nelson over there is okay. Sorry, that's Bryant Berry. I hope he's okay. Although Berry, he looks like he's not a small dude.
Yeah, I don't think he hurt that table at all. I don't think he's worried about that table.
He's got tickets to the gun show, does Bryant Berry. Glenville, a quick three on the left wing, and burying it is Hagel Augustin.
Augustin with a nice follow-through, feet set, and gets Glenville's first bucket of 2021.
State doing a nice job quickly with the pass, breaking that pressure by Glenville. Now they're going to attack. Here's a nice scoop layup off the mark by Abram. The rebound and the cleanup is there for Jeremiah Moore.
Glenville getting the ball out quickly. Boom!
And a rim rocker right there for John Williams. You mentioned Williams' impact immediately. West Virginia State caught sleeping defensively in transition, Coach.
Yeah, well, they're getting into their press full court defense and just didn't account for the long runner.
Pittman on the attack, trying to split two defenders. One of those Glenville State guards got a hand in. That whistle, I believe, is going to go against Adrian Scarborough. Is that correct?
Nice replay there. This year we're all spread out here at Video Productions, and it's hard for us to get close to the monitor to see these great replays that Robbie Mounts is putting up there for us. We need to get to those replays.
Good baseline move. The little scoop jumper is off the mark, though, for Moore. Now coming to attack. Here's Augustin straight to the hoop, and he challenged Pittman.
Augustin with a nice, strong move, giving Glenville State their first lead.
Augustin with 5 of the 7 early points for the Pioneers. Now playing some tough defense on Pittman. Pittman equal to the task, though, and a beautiful no-look dish onto the left block to Sherrod.
Nice pass by Pittman, seeing the floor.
And on the other side, I'm telling you what, I talked to Nate Burton, the athletic director. I talked to Sean McAndrews. They talked about Pittman as an absolute do-it-all player.
Well, let's look at the replay here, see if Pittman got set right there. As bad as I hate to say it, great call by the official, Mike Lazo. Defense set. The officials are even starting out good in 2021.
No preseason jitters for anybody. Here's some pressure defense, and Glenville State's going to take it away. They tipped it around a few times into the hands in the corner of number 3, Zane D'Souza.
It was Luke LaRose entering the game for the Pioneers early.
Was that LaRose?
No, LaRose got the steal and made the pass into the corner.
You're going to have to help my old eyes,
Oh,
Coach
no, you had that right there. Now, I think that was Seth Fowlin, 5, who drained the three-pointer.
Long in the tooth and cannot see a thing when I can't tell the difference courtside between the number 3 and 5.
Well, I'm a Raleigh County guy, and Tommy Williams and Luke LaRose both played last year for Shady Spring into the game early.
I know that Coach Caldwell was very high on both of those players, wanted them to make an immediate impact as freshmen. LaRose will clear that missed shot attempt on the 3 by Pittman. Here is Seth Fallon from deep. Fallon off the mark. Rebound tipped around. And referee Dwayne Nelson will say that one will go to West Virginia State.
Now here's Glenville State, full man-to-man face guard. Just trying to create a hectic pace that they have been very good at. Almost a 5-second call.
Good pass to Pittman, inbounds from Sherrod. They'll work a three off of that, and that one missing the mark. Augustin will clear it for Glenville State. One-on-one out top. Pull-up three is off the mark. Look at Williams attacking the rebound. The pump fake and dish.
Great hustle by Tommy Williams, finding Augustin, coming down the middle. Augustin's a player.
Absolute player, and that will be Glenville State on top, as you see on our replay. Williams, the pump fake, the dish, and the give to Augustin to finish it off. 30-second timeout. We'll be back after this message. L&P Construction in Hurricane, West Virginia, nailing it down with perfection. Give them a call at 304-553-9121. Don't wait for an opportunity. Create it. L&P Construction. Andrew Miller, head coach Bob Bolin, two-time NAIA National Coach of the Year. Coach, a very good start for both of these teams here tonight. Glenville State, again, coming back with so many new players. You're just waiting to see how they'll gel together early on. It looks pretty good for Coach Caldwell.
Yeah, and this style, believe it or not, is really hard to gel with. When you're pressing, you got to know how the other guys are playing, and Glenville State looks good early.
Little give-and-go action to Abram. Oh. Instead of taking it to the hoop, he pulls back for three.
Abram is a ball player. Tough shot.
Almost 40% shooter from behind the line. Here's one rattled home from Tommy Williams.
Luke LaRose drives the gap. Tommy Williams knocks it down, looking back to their high school days.
How nice is the comfort level between those two? And here we go, back and forth. Abram chattering with Fallon.
And I think he's chattering with the whole bench, and the way he's shooting the ball, I don't think anybody wants to upset that kid.
Augustin guarded tightly by Trayon Watkins, gets to the hole, and we've got a whistle. And a blocking foul called.
Now that restricted area there, Andrew, that restricted area on the charge, a lot of people get confused. That is for the secondary defender, the help defender. Now, when it's the man defending the ball, you can take that charge inside the circle. But when you're the secondary, right here, see, that's the primary defender. So that's not an automatic block. That could have been a charge if the referee deemed it that way. But, again, the right call by the officials. Definitely a block.
Augustin missed the first free throw. That's the one thing he struggled with last year, Coach. 61% shooting from the free throw line. Other than that, he was very good. 16 points a game, 6.6 rebounds a game, almost 3 assists a game. Shot the ball at nearly 35% from behind the line. Just the free throws, an issue for Augustin last year.
We are on a 120-point pace here, Andrew.
Absolutely. Here's Watkins from deep.
Deep.
That was good defense by Gus Eddy. It didn't matter. Trayon Watkins from about 4 feet behind the college line.
I'll tell you, Coach Poore told me in a pregame talk that he shoots it so deep that people will think, boy, he's taking a bad shot.
17-16 early on. State in the lead over Glenville State College. 60-second timeout. We'll be back.
Glenville State College's serene, safe campus is located in the rolling hills of central West Virginia. At Glenville State College, you can discover friends to last a lifetime, professors who broaden your perspective, and the skills and education for future success in a safe, small-town environment. At Glenville State College, you can be a pioneer.
You wear it every day, so let's make your smile a priority. Dr. Joey Atkins and the friendly staff at Elk Family Dentistry are here to help you have a smile you can be proud of. Dr. Adkins treats patients of all ages for preventative and cosmetic dentistry. Make your appointment today by calling 304-965-6661. Elk Family Dentistry, making your life better with a beautiful smile.
14:55 remaining in the first half of play. Game one of the MEC Conference 2020-2021 season. Andrew Miller, joined by my partner, Coach Bob Bolin. Coach, you were talking about in the break, we're on pace for quite a number here tonight.
Well, 132 to 128 if it keeps going like this. This is beautiful. I love watching this basketball. This pace is so exciting.
This is what the MEC is very well known for, Coach. We saw it with the women's teams right before this. Glenville State putting up 126. This conference is run and gun up and down and get some points on the board. Speaking of these two teams and lots of scoring, they have, by the way, the fifth highest total combined points. Last year it happened, Coach. It happened 127 to 115. Glenville State defeated West Virginia State, combining for 242 points, fifth highest in MEC history.
And, you know, it's not because of bad defense. It's because of the pace of the game.
Up and down we go. Edwards with the pullback. Chasing it down is Gus Eddy on that right elbow. The no-look into the corner. Another three. Tommy Williams, the freshman.
Coming out your first game as a freshman, knocking down your first 2 threes, has to get the confidence going.
Gus Eddy, a tremendous point guard out of George Washington High School, located just driving distance from here, just a couple of minutes over in South Hills. Picked up a nice assist on that three by Williams. Here's the drive, the attack by Edwards. And skying in for the rebound was D'Souza. Into the corner. And look at the ups there by John Williams. Boy, was afraid that he might take a nasty fall there. He gets up, though, and gets down the court late. Good effort by Williams.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that was from the parking lot.
That was from almost right in front of me by Trayon Watkins. And a whistle again. This time it's going to be a blocking foul, and I think that may be Trayon Watkins again.
Eddy, after the offensive rebound and finding Tommy Williams in the corner, nothing but net.
Little local flavor in West Virginia here. Eddy out of George Washington over to the Shady Springs star Tommy Williams. You mentioned Shady Spring with Tommy Williams, Luke LaRose, also Brian Shepard, who is out for possibly the year right now with some illness, but those are 3 Shady Spring players on this team. Glenville State getting back defensively and taking it away. Williams attacking again, and this time West Virginia State coach will draw the charge.
Yeah, I mean, right there to take it. Abrams, good solid position. Gosh, I really think, Andrew, we've had 4 plays so far, and on the charge and block, if we're looking at a replay here again, I think the refs are 4 for 4. I mean, they're on top of this early. Again, another great charge taken by West Virginia State.
Both teams shooting at a very high clip here in the first half from the three-point line, 40% for Glenville and 42% for West Virginia State.
That's the first thing Abrams has done wrong tonight. He had a turnover in the backcourt. I mean, he's playing great on the offensive end, playing great defense, having a terrific game.
Yeah, those directional lob passes are very difficult sometimes. Kind of feeds into the pressure of the defense.
Glenville going to a little flex motion offense. That's odd to see from Glenville.
Little Euro step action from Nick Edwards, the junior out of Atlanta, Georgia. And he'll get the nice charity roll here from Institute.
Imagine how much fun it is to play for both of these coaches. The freedom on offense. My, look how far that is. It's just that these kids got to be having fun playing for these coaches.
And we talked about Abrams being very confident from wherever on the floor.
Look at that pass.
Williams, a beautiful pump fake, drive, and dish. D'Souza finishes it off.
Great pass by Tommy Williams. D'Souza with the finish.
Abrams, a Euro step of his own, a whistle, much to the dismay of Coach Caldwell on the sideline.
Yeah, I thought Williams got that clean. Here on the other end, Williams, nice step, beat his man, drew the defense. Great dish, and the finish by D'Souza.
Well, Coach, I don't know if you're old school like I feel sometimes, but I miss the beautiful bounce passes.
Oh, that was a beautiful bounce pass. I'm old school in that regard, but I love the pace of this game. Yeah, this is, Andrew, since Mountain State played in Kansas City, this is my first small college basketball game I've watched in person, and, I'm enjoying how both of these teams play.
Absolutely. Second free throw off the mark, but on the battle for possession, the boys in royal blue will touch it last. So it will stay with West Virginia State. Abram going to check out, get a nice breather. And checking back in again, Anthony Pittman, the sophomore. Pittman had a tremendous freshman year for Brian Poor last year. Finished as a second-team All-MEC player. He was a preseason HBCU NCAA Division II first-team selection this year, joining Glenn Abram on that team.
And think about his versatility. Playing the 4 last year, now going to the point. Boy, it's great for a coach to be sitting there and thinking that I got a player this versatile.
You know, and it's very difficult for all that they brought back here at West Virginia State, Coach. They did not bring back their point guard. A big loss. Michael Seals, the senior graduating, averaged 12.9 points a game. 5 assists per game as a point guard is what you're looking for, though. The points are just almost extra. And from what they tell me, he was a floor general. So to lose him, it's very nice to have a forward come in that can play point.
Oh, and Pittman had 54 assists and 52 turnovers last year. But he didn't have the ball in his hands like he does this year. The more you have the ball in your hands, the more comfortable you get. And he's a big-time player.
Free throws dropped there by Montrell Horsey. Another one of those transfers in, a whistle. We'll wait and see if they're going to say that was on the shot or on a rebound. A very emphatic call there, though, by official Mike Lazo.
I'll tell you, Andrew, now if the crowd was in here, they would be booing that, but it's really a good piece of officiating. There was definitely a bump on the layup. So a lot of times the officials will see if that ball goes in. It didn't go in. The official deemed that bump caused him to miss the layup, so he blew the whistle late. You see both coaches, neither one of them are complaining about that. If this place was packed, there would be so many boos in here right now you couldn't believe it.
D'Souza hits 2 of 2. That last foul called on Jod Shockley.
D'Souza has to be careful on that free throw. He was guarding the ball on the press and actually crossed that free throw line before his ball hit the rim.
One-on-one action, a pull-up jumper from the left elbow missing by Horsey. Pretty good defense by the freshman, LaRose. Here's D'Souza sailing through the lane, and he'll be a little bit off on that shot opportunity as well. Here's a drive, a dish into the corner. Pittman for 3. Off the back iron, loose ball rebound controlled by the Pioneers. D'Souza, wide open layup. A great pass, though, by Nicholas Edwards.
Edwards, good job, head up. The bounce pass right on the money where the offensive player did not have to break stride.
Pioneers an 11-5 run in the last couple of minutes. Miss on the 3. Pittman can't put it back, but just continuing to be relentless underneath, and Pittman will draw contact.
Yeah, you could tell Coach Caldwell, here's the pass. Perfect, right on the money. Coach Caldwell upset there with the effort of his team on the defensive boards. They had 2 guys in there fighting for the rebound and 3 watching, and they're too little. They're too little to do that. They have to rebound as a group, rebound in bunches, and all 5 have to crash the defensive boards to be effective.
Yeah, body on body because of the 6'5". Pittman showed right there his ability to jump quickly. See him missing the first one, and he did not stay down long, just springs in the feet, right back up he goes. Pittman will hit the first, and it's a 6-point advantage nearing the 10:56 mark of the half. 27-21, Glenville State on top. Pioneers still shooting at a very high clip, 52% from the field, 40% from 3. Pressure put on there, and the inbounds comes to Fallon. Abram trying to push that one away from Fallon, will be whistled for the reach.
West Virginia State very close to a 5-second violation, or forcing a 5-second violation against Glenville. Then they get Abram on the reach.
Token backcourt pressure, now backing out, and here's an attack. And, Coach, I know that you are one of those guys, as things getting a little bit heated right there, you're one of those guys that I would imagine can't stand a reach on a drive past.
Oh, yeah, and that was a great offensive move by the Glenville player. Thought there was a little contact. They're woofing at each other right now, and the coaches. I know Coach Caldwell. He can't afford to have that young man out of the game right there. Both coaches need to get their kids, get them settled down, and you do not want an ejection in a 27-22 game, 10 minutes left in the half, and at the pace that these teams are playing, an ejection could change the outcome of the game.
Coach, not making an excuse for the bantering, but you think back to even playing days, how excited you were for that first game. Okay, so then you have to back that up a couple of months. So these guys have been pent up with so much excitement that it just overflows. You mentioned that coming in. You said You're going to see a lot of high-octane, just wildness. The officials are probably, as you said, going to have to maybe get involved early and make sure they call things a little tighter to keep things from getting out of hand.
Yeah, I think that was Edwards involved. He just has to realize, his team needs him, and you can't, if you got bumped going to the layup, you can't show that emotion. That's what the referees are talking about right now, and I don't know if they need to come and look at our monitor or not. I hope there's not an ejection this early in the game. I don't think that warranted an ejection, but these guys have to realize what they mean to their team, and it was a bump on the drive. Now, there was something said afterwards, but you can't go make contact with another guy. Let's see what the referee's going to do here.
Referee Mike Lazo talking to Coach Caldwell. Now he'll come over and explain it to Coach Brian Poore exactly what has transpired.
I think Mike Lazo.
So the personal foul was on Montrell Horsey for the reach. Okay, and then the technical foul was issued to Nicholas Edwards. So Pittman will be shooting the 2 technical free throws, and then they'll move back down to the other side, Coach.
And that was for the bump. For the bump after the
Pittman hitting both technical foul shots. And the common foul again, not enough to put Glenville State in the 1-and-1, so that's just going to be a technical foul that gives West Virginia State 2 in the ball.
Yeah, well, I thought it was the right call. I'm glad the young man did not get ejected. There was a push after the whistle, and the referees are letting everybody know right now they're not going to tolerate that.
Exactly, setting the tone early in this ball game. Horsey hands it off on the left wing. Jeremiah Moore been relatively quiet for a bit here, missing the runner, and the tip back out of reach from Shockley as well. In transition, Fallon feeds it off on the drive, left-handed layup off the mark, that time by Edwards. Abram wants to attack, gets by the defender straight to the hoop.
Boy, gave him the okey-doke, little crossover, hesitation move, explosion to the basket.
And suddenly, this is a 1-point ball game. Nifty dribbling, and that will leave Augustin open for 3. A whistle underneath. I think we're going to get an off-ball foul. And Augustin going to be credited for the 3-pointer.
Yeah, let's look at that. I've never been crazy. I don't agree with that one. He took 2 little steps after the pass was made. That negated a 3-point basket by Glenville State. Don't want to be hard on them, but they missed that one.
That was a tough one. Williams gets called, wave off the basket. Halfway through the first half, 27-26, Glenville State on top. We'll be back.
Glenville State College's serene, safe campus is located in the rolling hills of central West Virginia. At Glenville State College, you can discover friends to last a lifetime, professors who broaden your perspective, and the skills and education for future success in a safe, small-town environment. At Glenville State College, you can be a pioneer.
You wear it every day, so let's make your smile a priority. Dr. Joey Atkins and the friendly staff at Elk Family Dentistry are here to help you have a smile you can be proud of. Dr. Atkins treats patients of all ages for preventative and cosmetic dentistry. Make your appointment today by calling 304-965-6661. Elk Family Dentistry, making your life better with a beautiful smile.
My back is killing me. I just don't want to bother the camera.
We welcome you back inside the Doris W. and Walter F. Johnson III Arena here in West Virginia State University. Campus at Institute, West Virginia. We've got a very nice one here in the first half. Opening game of the MEC Conference season. West Virginia State clawing back in after trailing by 7. Here's Abram out top. Deep three, and that one rattles home.
Boy, Abram is very comfortable shooting that ball from deep. You can tell why he's one of the better guards in the conference.
And that will give West Virginia State their first lead since being up by 4 in the first half minute of the ball game. Trying to answer Glenville State, and that will fall through. Zane D'Souza on the left wing.
D'Souza knocks it down, made a great hustle play on the other end, almost came up with a steal.
And loose ball picked up there by Shockley. Lob pass underneath to Moore. That was all Pittman.
And one of the few times that State's been able to use their size advantage to get an easy bucket in the post.
A difficult touch pass by Pittman, and now he'll show what he can do defensively, swatting away the three-point attempt. Back to Pittman, trying to dunk it down, and that's going to be swatted away.
Augustin with a great defensive play. And
got a whistle waiting to see if this will be a block or a charge. Lots of contact.
Definitely a block there, Andrew.
The drive by Nicholas Edwards. Yeah, you saw that, Coach.
Well, let's look at this block on the other end. Augustin said, don't bring that dunk in here.
Just well-timed on the dunk attempt by Pittman. The foul whistled on number 10, Montrell Horsey. And again, as you mentioned, a good slide step on the drive by Nicholas Edwards drew the blocking foul. As Tommy Williams will check back in, replacing D'Souza. Horsey will check out with the 2 fouls. And checking in will be Gus Stone for West Virginia State. 1 of 2 for Edwards, and we've got our first tie since 0.
Edwards has been doing a good job of getting deep penetration and kicking the ball out to three-point shooters.
Here's Pittman after handling the pressure defensively. The pull-up 15-footer's good.
Edwards gambled, and Pittman made him pay. Look at the pass by Williams again.
Well, he's got great court vision. The miss on the shot, but the follow-up is up and in by Adrian Scarborough out of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Glenville has a lot of quick leapers, and Scarborough's one of them, able to get around the basket, even though they have a size disadvantage, able to get the offensive rebound.
Scarborough transferred in out of Brunswick Community College in Bolivia, North Carolina this past year. In the hands of the freshman, Tommy Williams. Augustin versus Abram. Boy, that's a nice matchup, Coach.
That is. 2 really good players.
Another quick drive. Moore challenging. The shot no good. Boy, Augustin almost threw it down on the rebound. He'll pick it up. He'll fire a 3, and going crashing to the ground is Hagel Augustin, and on top of him, I believe Jod Shockley is going to be whistled for the foul.
Yeah, Shockley, the Division III transfer, they just can't foul the jump shooter. I mean, if you look at that again, Nice hesitation. You got to go straight up. He's jumping in towards the shooter. A great offensive player like Augustin's going to draw that contact and get rewarded with 3 free throws.
Augustin at the free throw line, as I mentioned. The one thing he doesn't tend to do very well is shoot free throws. Just 61% makes the first.
Now watch Augustin on this 3rd free throw, Andrew. Watch and see if he crosses that line. Okay. I believe it was Augustin the last time that was guarding the ball on their press defense. And on his last free throw, he took off about when the ball was halfway up there. Let's see if he does that again.
Trayon Watkins back into the ball game, as well as Savion Marshall Hamilton, a freshman from Reynoldsburg, Ohio, Pickerington North High School.
No, he stayed right with it and knocked down all 3 of them.
3 of 3 confident. Quickly into the front court, Watkins working baseline against Gus Eddy, the freshman. And now they'll reset the offense with Abram out top. Calling for the screen. Works off the screen, rattles the 3. That was as good as down. It pops back out at the last second. And just in the wrong place at the wrong time, foul there by Savion Marshall Hamilton.
I'll tell you, Abrams' misses even look good. I mean, that one was halfway down the basket. He didn't even have his feet under him. He was a little off balance on that shot, and it still looks good. I'll tell you, Abram is a ball player.
Absolutely. This is the 13th trip to the line.
Oh.
And look at that. What a play by Scarborough.
Scarborough just, the shooter knows where his shot's going. He let it hit the rim. Great hustle play by Scarborough.
Back to a 5-point lead. And there goes Jeremiah Moore, announcing his presence with authority. A wide open lane, coach, a miscommunication defensively.
And Moore took advantage attacking the basket.
Eddy on the baseline will miss.
A lot of times that'll give teams some momentum and they'll go on a run.
State with an opportunity to get within 1 or tie it with a 3. Moore feeling it, backing in. Now they'll give it out. Here's Gus Stone, the lefty, and that falls. And Stone, after a year off, coming back with a big 3 to tie it. Augustin, though, attacking the rim, and that one is sent out just as quickly as it came in. Savion Marshall Hamilton.
Here goes the dunk. Open lane, attacks the basket, block shot on the other end. And the advantage State has, the girls team is allowed in here because they played earlier, and they're going crazy in the bleachers.
Off the inbounds, Augustin can't get it to fall. 2 players there. I'm not sure who tipped that one in.
I give Tommy Williams half of it and Seth Fallon the other half.
And here's another attack by Moore. Trying to draw the contact of the charge was Scarborough.
Right here is the block shot coming around. Good help side defense.
Savion Marshall Hamilton, the 6'7" junior guard, didn't transfer. He is from Pickerington North High School. And boy, did he throw that one away with authority. Moore at the line off the left side on his first opportunity. Jeremiah Moore, the senior, second leading scorer last year. And I tell you what, last year he averaged 33.1 minutes per game, the most on this team.
Yeah, he looked a lot better on the dunk. A little hitch in that free throw. A little hitch when he brings it up around the chin, and he's a little upset with himself after that one.
Coach, that last foul on Scarborough was his 3rd. He will take a seat. Checking in again is D'Souza. Zane D'Souza has it out top. Eddy thought about the 3. And we've got a loose ball whistle going to go against Glenville State. That's going to be Zane D'Souza.
Yeah, got him with a little illegal pick. A little pick and pop, and there hasn't been very many picks in this game with both teams spreading the floor. And got him on that one.
Got a shot on Abram, who was looking a little bit wincy as he was taking that ball in bounds. He's fine, though. What a game we've got going on. Both teams have been close throughout. Abrams tries to split two, has it stolen away. Tommy Williams pulls up, gives it off to D'Souza, cutting the lane, can't get the shot to fall. A clear out. Here's Gus Stone. And that may be an intentional foul.
Don't think he's going to go intentional there. He did foul intentionally, but I don't think it's an intentional foul. Does that make sense, Andrew?
Yes, Coach.
He reached with his right hand to get the ball, and he kind of wrapped him up with his left hand to stop the fall. I think the official was right there. I would be very upset if they called it intentional there. Intentional is when you slam somebody, Andrew.
Coach Brian Poore asking official Bryant Berry, and again, very nicely, as I would ask official Bryant Berry any question, and then he laughed it off, so I guess he's okay with that call.
Oh, and I don't blame him. If I was Coach Poore, I would be yelling intentional too, but I don't think that one was.
Stone hits the first, set for his second.
There's a difference between calling an intentional foul and intentionally fouling. He intentionally fouled him, but it was not by the rules an intentional foul.
Stone hits 2 of 2, an 8-2 run for West Virginia State in the last 2 minutes, and we are squared at 40 apiece, and it didn't last long enough to roll off my tongue, Coach.
Augustin gets those feet set. It's money in the bank.
From behind, Eddie gets a hand in, pokes it away from Trayon Watkins.
There's Augustin gets those feet set. They got to make him put it on the floor. If he gets his feet set, it's in the bank.
Here's Moore attacking the rim again.
Great fake handoff there. Coach Poore said the fake handoff was a big part of their offensive game.
D'Souza challenging this time, and he altered that shot at the last second to keep it away from the big hands of Marshall Hamilton. Another attack. I think Abram was going to the hoop there as he was falling. Coach, he saw Moore cutting.
Oh, and then Coach Caldwell wants to keep at this pace. Keep going, and what a pace we have.
45-44 still. Just about 5 minutes left here in the first half. Out top, D'Souza for three. That one falls short. Look at Augustin, though. Good hustle by Hagel Augustin. Pioneers will retain possession. Drive, dish, corner three is no good. And Moore there for the rebound. And a mismatch. Eddie on Moore. Moore a little out of control, though, and he's going to be whistled for the foul. And that gave, I tell you what, it was good defense. Eddie was trying to slow Moore down enough. And Augustin just slid right in there, Coach.
And that takes toughness. Augustin, look at it. Took it right in the chest. Proper call. Outside of the restricted area.
4:09 left in the first half. Glenville State leading by 1, 45-44. L&P Construction in Hurricane, West Virginia, nailing it down with perfection. Give them a call at 304-553-9121. Don't wait for an opportunity. Create it. L&P Construction. Andrew Miller, Coach Bob Bolin here in the first half of the first game of the MEC season. Coach, we've been treated in this first half to a back-and-forth battle between two very good teams.
I've enjoyed this. And surprisingly, Andrew, Glenville has a 25-17 advantage on the boards.
Now West Virginia State, though, starting to shoot the ball better. They were down around 28% midway through the first half. They're up to 42% shooting, and that's gotten them back into this ball game. Augustin working against Pittman. Out top, Fallon from deep. That one hits the back heel, and Augustin with the rebound and the flush by two hands.
I think West Virginia State heard the shot clock go off and kind of stopped.
Euro step layup opportunity missing from Abrams. Good defense there by Fallon, and a whistle, and players flying everywhere as Pittman attempting to take a charge. Not sure if his feet were set or not, Coach.
Again, Glenville has a 9-rebound advantage right now. Augustin gets the rebound and the little baby dunk.
I was mentioning the game within the game, the two very talented players for either team, Glenn Abram for West Virginia State and Hagel Augustin for Glenville State. They were tied with 14 apiece. That led all scores until Augustin flushed that last one.
You know, Andrew, when the game is being played at this pace, sometimes when players go to the free throw line, it's very hard to be a good free throw shooter because you're used to this crazy up and down, then all of a sudden there's a little break in the action, and it's hard to get to that free throw line and knock them down.
Edwards 1 of 2. He's just 2 of 4 from the free throw line, but it is a 4-point Glenville State lead at the moment. Neither team is led by more than 7. That was Glenville State at the 11:25 mark. State driving around and dishing it out to Stone.
That was close there. Thought that was good hands. Referee says it was on the elbow, but kind of closer. We have a great view. Look at the camera angle here. You know, they call that. That's kind of when you reach around, you're going to get that call even if you get all ball.
So that'll send Gus Stone to the line for a pair. Stone, I'm sure, will be very excited to be on the floor, battling a myriad of injuries last year. Spent 2 years at Prince George's Community College in Largo, Maryland. 15.4 points a game as a freshman, 18.3 as a sophomore.
PG County, I used to recruit that area hard. A lot of talent up there.
3-minute mark here in the first half. 48-46, neither team separating itself. Foul on the one-hander out top. Augustin, another one.
Great weave by Glenville. And there's Augustin on the steal. Oh, yep.
Got a whistle. Augustin came over, saw Abrams down the sideline and knew that pass was too far.
Right, and there was a bump there in the foul. And, you know, Abram, usually when a player's talking to an official and both hands are out like his were, it's usually an automatic tee there. I'd say if this place was a packed house and fans everywhere, that the referees would call a tee there. But, you know, it's just a weird atmosphere when there's no fans in here.
You know, you've been on the sidelines for plenty of intense games with fans in the stands. I can't imagine. I mean, obviously you would imagine when these guys are in the thrill of the game, they're focused on the game. But that fan presence makes a difference.
Oh, it does. And these teams are playing so hard, and so they're running their systems like it's not bothering them. I mean, that's just a great tribute to both of these coaches to have their teams playing at this level without any fan support.
A tremendous first half at the moment for Hagel Augustin. He has 21 points in the first half. And Glenville State with a 7-point lead, matching its largest of the night. Moore working hard inside, couldn't get the shot to fall though. Transition 3-on-1 opportunity. The alley-oop attempt from D'Souza sails high over the head or the hands of Edwards.
And Edwards was calling for that early. He was pointing at the basket. Didn't really think the pass was that high off, just missed timing. Edwards with a real late jump there.
Well, Glenville State's put on some token pressure in the backcourt, but they really haven't got up into these players for West Virginia State full court since the first 3 or 4 minutes of this contest. content to play some good half-court defense. Here's Gus Stone, the lefty, hanging in the air. Good defense from Seth Fallon. It didn't matter, Coach.
Oh, great move, hanging in there. Gus is starting to get his legs under him after sitting out last year.
Out top, Hagel Augustus. Augustin working on Pittman, and Pittman wins that battle. Gets a hand in, knocks it away. Into the corner, Stone trying for a three, and that's buried.
5 straight for West Virginia State, cuts it down to 2.
A good-looking shot from the lefty, Gus Stone. And we're at a 2-point margin in favor of the Pioneers. Look at the dribbling ability there of Edwards, but he got inside a little bit against 2 defenders. Here's Abram on the run out. Tried the body contact, and boy, I think Abram may have gotten bailed out there a little bit, Coach. You mentioned earlier waiting to see if that ball falls through. Abram sold it nicely.
Yeah, I think he was bailed out there.
May have been some minimal contact.
Let's look. Williams backed off at the last second. No contact made. I guess Abram has played so well that you think, how did he miss that layup? But and that brings Williams to the bench with that foul. And, at this pace, the referees have to miss some. I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, they have to miss some.
That foul number 3, by the way, on Tommy Williams. As he checks out, Luke LaRose, another freshman, and his teammate in high school come back in. Abrams hits a pair, and we are all nutted at 53. Abram now with 16 points in the first half, right off of the pace of Hagel Augustin. So those 2 stars showing up and showing out in the first half of the first game of the season.
Something happened there that I think we missed. Referee Mike Lazo's upset with one of the players. It looked like it was Augustin. Didn't really see what happened there.
Glenville working the play clock here, down to 10 before Edwards makes a move. Drives, dishes, D'Souza for 3. Off back rim, rebound Moore, the clear out. Here's Pittman, nobody down there. That's a dangerous 3-pointer with no rebounding inside, and now it's cleared quickly. Here's Edwards, the drive, the dish, D'Souza for the layup.
Beautiful pass by Edwards.
For as much as Pittman, Coach, has done right here in this first half, I think maybe that deep pull-up 3 with no help inside might have been a little bit early. Pittman, one-on-one with D'Souza out top, letting that clock roll. Just 1 second differential between the play clock and the game clock. Pittman will move with 6 on the play clock. Boy, his knee buckled a little bit, Coach.
He did, caused a little stutter step, and with the traveling violation, Glenville State has 6.2 to get a shot off here. Let's see if they can get a good one.
They lead it 55-53. D'Souza will trigger it in. Quickly to Edwards, top circle. Edwards has it knocked away from behind. Ooh. And then Trayon Watkins and Pittman, the teammates, run into each other. And that was dangerous. They both jump up. They're both okay. A timeout whistled for Glenville State. Just 30 seconds, Coach. They want to talk over this last 2.8 seconds. So take off your broadcaster hat, go back in and put on your coach's hat here with 2.8 left.
Well, with 2.8 left, Glenville has the ball under the basket. Look for a pick going away from the basket for a 3-point shooter, but watch the slip. Watch Glenville may try to slip this pick, get West Virginia State into a switch mode, and get a real easy one. Edwards was coming down the court, had LaRose in the left corner open there, and he's done such a good job today of finding those shooters in the corner, but maybe he thought the clock was running down and knocked the ball out. So let's look for a pick for a shooter going out to a 3 and watch for the slip.
We've got some 3-point shooters on the floor right now for Glenville State. Fallon, Luke LaRose, Hagel Augustin.
Little confusion here.
I think there may still be some condensation in the form of sweat.
Andrew, look for a pick for Augustin coming to the ball side corner, but watch the slip. With a possible D'Souza going down the middle for a lob. So Fallon's going to pick for Augustin on the other side. And here it comes. There's the pick. Here comes Augustin.
Far outside, and he will step on the sideline, Coach. That was great defense. They forced Augustin way out.
Yep, and there was Augustin coming for the shot. That's what West Virginia State thought was happening.
Now a chance to tie or take the lead. Half-court heave. Trayon Watkins, good if it goes. And that one will fly south to the left side, and that will be the final play of the first half. We were treated to quite a first half of play from both of these Mountain East Conference opponents. 55-53 at the half. Glenville State on top.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
Mid-State Chevrolet, I-79, exit 67 in Flatwoods. We stock them deeper so we can sell them to you cheaper. West Virginia's #1 selling Chevy dealer with the area's widest selection, biggest inventory, and lowest prices guaranteed. Plus, we'll beat any other car dealership's price by $1,000 guaranteed. Only at Mid-State Chevrolet, I-79, exit 67 in Flatwoods. Online anytime at midstatechevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
With all that's going on, Mullen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling wants to remind our neighbors we're here for you. We're taking extra precautions to protect you and our employees. Right now, we're offering 6-month no-interest financing to help you stay comfortable throughout this crisis. Our superior indoor air filtration options will keep viruses, bacteria, and allergens down, increasing indoor air quality, comfort, and safety. Call us today and see how we can help you. Mullen, we're comfortable when you are.
An injury at any age can be a game changer, but Marshall Orthopedics, the area's only comprehensive sports medicine practice, is ready to get you off the bench and back in the game. Marshall Orthopedics takes care of the herd. Let us take care of you.
Halftime here inside the Doris W. and Walter F. Johnson III Arena, the campus of West Virginia State University in Institute, West Virginia. Opening night of the Mountain East Conference basketball season. Again, it was delayed a couple of months due to COVID precautions, as the commissioner of the MEC, Reed Amos, back in October announced that the winter sports seasons would move to the first of the year if everything went correctly. So far, so good. Here tonight, the women's schedule got started at 5:30. It was Glenville State College, the Lady Pioneers, taking care of business as defending champions of the regular season and the conference tournament, defeating the host school, West Virginia State. The Yellow Jackets falling in defeat 126-84 in game number one. We have been treated here in the first half of this men's first game. Glenville State College and West Virginia State University not just close to each other at 55-53 as Glenville State College leads it at the half. This thing has been back and forth throughout, numerous lead changes, and a couple of ties, 5 ties in fact, and 9 lead changes. Neither team led in the first half by more than 7 points. It was Glenville State College twice leading by 7, as West Virginia State has led by as many as 4. So these two have been very closely related throughout the first half. Taking a look at the statistics for both teams, field goal percentage very similar, as West Virginia State started slow but brought back very good shooting in the second half of the first half. 47.5% for Glenville to 42.1% for West Virginia State. For Glenville State, they shot threes at a clip of 36.8%. West Virginia State, this is where they came back in the second part of the first half. 40% shooting on 6 of 15 behind the three-point line. Free throws, 10 of 14 for Glenville State for 71%. 15 of 19 for West Virginia State. They shot at 78.9%. Both teams similar, kept control of the basketball. 6 turnovers for Glenville State, just 5 for West Virginia State, leading to 5 points for Glenville State off turnovers and 9 for West Virginia State. Rebounding on the evening was controlled by Glenville State, 29-18, which is interesting because the size advantage is in favor of West Virginia State. A lot of hustle, though, underneath for the Pioneers, leading that charge on the rebounding side of things. Points in the paint very similar as well, 24 for Glenville State College in the first half, just 18 for West Virginia State. Leading scores for both teams, as you would probably expect. For West Virginia State, it was Glenn Abram finishing the first half with 16 points on 4 of 10 shooting. He was 3 for 7 behind the line, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. On Glenville State's side of things, it was Hagel Augustin, 21 points to lead all scorers on 6 of 9 shooting, 3 of 5 from behind the three-point line, and solid from the line at 6 of 7. Coach Bob Boland, this was a very good first half of play. I would not only expect the first game to be as clean and as well played as it is. I've seen very few mistakes.
Oh, I'm shocked, Andrew. I'm shocked that both of these teams have played so well. They've played so hard, 55-53. I mean, what a first half we've got to watch. When you think about the rebounding advantage for Glenville, when the teams have combined for 34 three-pointers, the misses are going to be long misses. So that negates the size advantage. The quicker team will get to the rebounds more often, and therefore Glenville has an 11 rebound advantage. But as is a tremendous first half to watch, and I can't imagine if it wasn't the COVID time that we're in and a packed house in here. I mean, that was just fun basketball to watch.
This would have been a raucous environment, to say the least. And you talk about this COVID environment, Coach. We knew that the expectations were very high for West Virginia State due to they had the three-headed monster coming back and some other players coming back as well. But they had a couple of very important transfers coming in. Horsey got a lot of time in the game. Stephon Sherrod, a couple of other guys. For Glenville State, it was all about transfers in the offseason. They lost 14 players off their roster, had just 2 players, Augustin and Fallon, who had any time on the floor last year. So they were going to rely on a lot of transfers to come in and to try to gel. You mentioned this. We were talking before the game started. As a coach and as a recruiter, how difficult is this year in the age of COVID where you cannot do a whole lot of in-person stuff? But on top of that, what is this going to do next year in this division when they've already decided that seniors can get granted another eligibility year?
Well, Andrew, I've had some friends at the D2 level call me and just ask what my thoughts were on that. And my thoughts are that D2 teams should be much better next year. Now, if you think about it, these D1 teams, they're going to keep some of their seniors. Some of their seniors are going to want to stay, so that means freshmen and JUCO players, there's going to be less D1 scholarships for them to get. And then that'll funnel them to the D2. So these teams should be looking to be much stronger next year than this year. And with the style these teams play, I mean, who wouldn't want to play basketball like this? It's a fun style to play. A lot of freedom offensively. Both teams hustle and play tough D. These two coaches have their programs going in the right direction.
You look at some of the seniors on both of these rosters, entirely likely, if they so chose, Coach, Glenn Abram and Hagel Augustin could be back next year as fifth-year seniors, including some others down the line. But just those two in themselves is a game changer for a program if they're still here the following year. Not to say they will be, but that's going to happen throughout the country.
Boy, those two need to be at the coach's house every other night for dinner. I don't know if that's illegal or not, but I would try to keep those kids on this campus for next year. Both of them can play. Big-time players. I'd say both of those will have a chance to make money overseas. And, what do you want to do? It's your senior year. You don't have fans in the bleachers. You're playing a half a season, 16 games. if I was a 22, 23-year-old young man, I would want to come back for another year and enjoy life. The older you get, the realize when you're in college, you think, boy, I can't wait to get out of here and get a job and make a living. And then as soon as you start making a living, you think, boy, I wish I was back in college. So, these kids will make the right decision for them. But those two are a joy to watch on the basketball court.
Well, it will be exciting to see what happens throughout this year into next year. And you mentioned that abbreviated schedule, all conference games in the MEC. These two teams will be in action again on Sunday. West Virginia State will travel to Concord at 4 p.m. to face off against the Concord Mountain Lions. Glenville State will open their home stanza at the Waco Center on Sunday. They'll welcome UC, the Flying Eagles, or the Golden Eagles, into the Waco Center on Sunday for a 4 p.m. first start. Both girls or men's and women's basketball action in the MEC on Sunday. We've got a big one here tonight, though. Glenville State leading it at the half over West Virginia State. Your score, 55-53. We'll take a break for our sponsors. When we come back, we'll have some second half action from the Doris W. and Walter F. Johnson III Arena.
Nestled in the rolling hills of central West Virginia, Glenville State College has been a beacon of light in the Mountain State since 1872. Glenville State College offers a diverse selection of degree programs that provide something for everyone. At Glenville State College, you have the opportunity to explore new paths, challenge yourself, and grow. You can be a pioneer.
FCA has incredible impact on coaches, the teams, the players, and the community as well.
It's changed our lives. It's changed mine as a husband, as a father, and as a coach.
It does make an impact on our lives.
FCA has become a full circle in our lives.
People from all different kinds of backgrounds.
If all we're going to be is a coach that happens to be a Christian, I think it's more important to be a Christian that happens to be a coach.
You wear it every day, so let's make your smile a priority. Dr. Joey Atkins and the friendly staff at Elk Family Dentistry are here to help you have a smile you can be proud of. Dr. Atkins treats patients of all ages for preventative and cosmetic dentistry. Make your appointment today by calling 304-965-6661. Elk Family Dentistry, making your life better with a beautiful smile.
I'm Stuart Caldwell. For more than 40 years, I and my firm have vindicated the rights of individuals hurt by defective drugs, defective chemicals, and other products. Now I'm teaming with Booth to take on the big drug companies to vindicate the rights of children born with NAS. There are significant legal proceedings that could affect you and your child's legal rights.
If you're the parent or guardian of a child who you believe was born dependent on opioids, you need to act now.
What I do at the Marshall games, I didn't know they were doing it here.
And we welcome you back inside the Doris W. and Walter F. Johnson III Arena. Andrew Miller, joined by my partner, two-time NAIA National Coach of the Year, Bob Bolin. And I'll tell you what, we're talking when we come back on the air, Coach. This has just been so exciting. It's been exciting because, I don't know about you, but I have been waiting very impatiently for basketball.
Oh, and we're getting to see basketball at a high level right now. And, you get to see things when you're in the arena. Just like we noticed there was something going on with Mike Lazo and Augustin there. Well, here they are coming out for the second half. I like that by officials. Mike Lazo went right up to Augustin. They said a few things. I think he's told him what he didn't like, what he did. They both smiled, gave each other five, and now they're right back to work. So, just all of us, we're all excited right here. We may even be talking when we're coming back on air, but, it's an exciting atmosphere. And these teams are both playing like this place is a packed house.
Absolutely. I'm impressed that in game number one, they've played so cleanly and so efficiently. You got about a minute here to talk over, Coach. Adjustments for the second half? I don't know if it's so much adjustments, but just continuing to do what both teams are doing and execute a little more. I don't know. What would you say if you're in the locker room with each of these teams?
Well, I would say State probably talked about penetration towards the basket and finishing at the rim, where Glenville does not have a so-called shot blocker in the game. And I think State could take advantage of that on their end, and also second shots for State. When you miss the first one, let's have 4 crash the boards and try to use our size advantage that way. For Glenville, it's just get back to when you drive and draw the help, make a good, clean pass to the shooter, and try to get some three-point shooters shots with their feet set.
Yeah, once what we saw was when their feet were set, Glenville could light it up.
Yeah, they could, and there in the middle of the half, they went to that a bunch of times with Edwards driving and finding the shooter. Then late in the half, a few balls were deflected, a few guys were missed that were wide open, and Glenville, that's their game. They can't afford to miss those easy passes.
As you see, we begin the second half of play. Glenville State will send Scarborough, Edwards, Fallon, Augustin, and Williams to the floor. For West Virginia State, Abram, Moore, Stone, Pittman, and Shockley. Glenville State will begin with possession as we start this second half of the first night of MEC conference action. I tell you what, if the season's like this or anything close, folks are in for a treat, at least online. A drive and an elbow shot put up from 15 feet off the mark by Williams, but the rebound into the hands of Augustin.
Can you say stick back three? You don't see that very often. A stick back three. Glenville did an excellent job of there with some fake movement on the opposite side of the ball, trying to create the one-on-one move.
When Augustin has 24 leading all scorers, and he is 4 for 7 behind the arc. Here's a nice spin move underneath. And the shot rolled in. 2 players, one for either team, went crashing to the ground. That was a great spin move by Jeremiah Moore.
And that was one of our few post moves of the night. Back to the basket post move. That's been very rare tonight. So Coach Poore must have talked about that at halftime, said we want to throw the ball into the post occasionally.
We saw Augustin and Shockley were the 2 that got tied up, just battling for position on the rebound. Nothing big right there. Here's a drive and an attempt by Williams. He'll draw the contact, and John Williams headed to the line.
Glenville State doing a good job there of keeping the floor spread. West Virginia State switching on picks. Beautiful little shot fake. Nothing fancy. Just a great shot fake by Williams and beat his man to the basket, able to draw the foul.
Too strong off the back iron. Glenville State now 10 of 15 from the charity stripe, 66%. And they hold to a 3-point advantage as we begin this second half of play. Now the 3 officials, Mike Lazo, Dwayne Nelson, Bryant Berry, coming together to double check something. And I believe they were going to double check the foul. And that foul, by the way, Coach, a big one. Number 3 on Glenn Abram.
And look for Glenville to attack Abram on the other end, try to put that 4th one on, try to get him over there, turn him into an assistant coach.
A great drive and dish by Pittman, and the 2-hand slam by Jeremiah Moore. Pittman. 2 of those 3 heads of the 3-headed monster.
Pittman with a great job, but it doesn't faze Glenville. Glenville just pushes it right up the court and gets a layup of their own.
Scarborough, a junior out of Raleigh, North Carolina. And the transfer from Brunswick County Community College gets the 2 points right back for Glenville State. Here's Stone off a little screen by Pittman. Off the mark. Loose ball rebound finds its way into the hands of Anthony Pittman.
Anthony Pittman getting the assist last possession, stick back this possession. Very multi-dimensional player.
Now Pittman has 8 points. You mentioned, though, he's got 4 assists in his first official game as the point guard. Remember, he was a forward last year. Here's Pittman out top with some defense. On the run out, he'll take it strong to the hoop. Ooh. And attacking him will be Hagel Augustin. We saw Augustin in the first half, Coach, block one of those dunk attempts by Moore.
I thought that was a great job by Augustin going up. Let's see here. See where the contact occurred.
A little bit maybe on the elbow on the dunk attempt, but Augustin having a laugh with official Dwayne Nelson, and Pittman also having a laugh with his coach.
Well, now Pittman, can jump out of the gym, and Augustin you just would not think was that athletic, I guess because he's so skilled with the ball. Maybe you don't recognize his athletic ability. He timed that, and he wanted to dunk. A lot of people hide for those. Augustin wanted to block that dunk.
1 of 2 at the free throw line from Anthony Pittman, and it's a 1-point contest. Quick three on Glenville State side, and John Williams with a big answer for the Pioneers.
Hey, Williams' feet set, knocking the 3-ball down.
Montrell Horsey on the drive. The spin move jumper is no good, and Augustin will clear it. Augustin now attacking Horsey. Feeds it underneath. Lots of contact. Well, I think Pittman was falling to the ground. He's frustrated with that call. Actually, he's not frustrated with the call. He is getting on one of his teammates saying, hey, you got to come over and give me some help here. Yeah, you see on that replay, Coach, he's just falling down into the wrong place at the wrong time foul.
Yeah, that caught me looking at Glenville's bench and, catching a little dissension out there. And that's how kids are these days. They can get on each other and keep playing, but Glenville bench saw that and they all started cheering, just trying to get it going.
Adrian Scarborough with the first free throw. He's 2 of 2 at the line, and it's a 6-point lead for Glenville. Here comes Abrams, though, right to the hoop. And Glenville State sleeping defensively. Abram burnt them badly.
Yeah, that was too easy there.
Out top, another pull-up three. Can he do it again?
That's big time.
Woo, John Williams is heating up.
Yeah, nice jab step, one dribble, pull up for the J.
Right back to it, though. Montrell Horsey attacking the rim.
And that's what I talked about at halftime, Andrew. West Virginia State attacking the basket with Glenville not having a shot blocker out there.
And you saw on that play, Pittman came out a little further on Williams. Here's the drive, the attack by Edwards. Looking for some contact, but he contorted his body in midair and softly floated that one in. Now Abrams trying to answer. Abrams, sorry. A little too strong on that one. Glenville State on the attack in transition. Augustin against Abram.
Glenville State with a 10-point lead. The way they play, it just happens so quickly.
Largest lead of the night by either team. It's 10 points, the advantage for the visiting team. One-on-one out top. Pittman slows up, now takes off to the baseline. Spin move. Turnaround jumper, no good. More there to clean it up. Out on the wing, a beautiful shot by Horsey.
And when you think about that, when West Virginia State takes a close-in shot, they're more apt to get the offensive rebound because of their size.
Another drive at a dish, a lot of body contact underneath. And that is Abram on the foul. And that is number 4 on Glenn Abram.
Oh, that's a big one. That's a gamble, leaving him in with 3 fouls and then getting the 4th on trying to, attempting to take a charge. And that's going to hurt West Virginia State. Abram's going to have to go to the bench at the 15:40 mark with 4 fouls.
Adrian Scarborough, who drew the last contact foul, gets another one as Abram, frustrated, will sit with the 4 fouls. And checking in for him is Trayon Watkins.
And Abram has 18 points. He's hit 3 threes, 5 free throws. He cramped up here on the other end right before trying to get the help on that charge.
2 of 2 by Scarborough. He'll get a breather. Back into the ball game, Zane D'Souza. Also back in, Tommy Williams and Luke LaRose for Glenville State, the Shady Spring pair of freshmen. And it looks like LaRose is going to be a little bit too bodied on Watkins in the backcourt. And you see Coach Justin Caldwell explaining, just maybe give a little bit of cushion there.
Yeah, he won't be upset. Freshman being aggressive, Coach Caldwell will live with that all day long.
9-point advantage for the Pioneers, 76-67. Gus Stone took off, pulled back, took off a second time, and got a step on Tommy Williams, and Williams going to be whistled for body contact on the drive.
Boy, that's Williams' fourth foul, too.
That was a good setup by Stone there. And got him with maybe the...
yeah, you know, that's a close one on Abram on the other end, his fourth. Close one on Williams with his fourth.
So Gus Stone, after a year of injuries, missing all of last season, coming back here as a fifth-year senior. And again, he has an opportunity, if so choose, to come back again the following year. But he's got 13 in his first game back after an entire year off.
Will there be such a thing next year as a sixth-year senior? Is that what we're going to have to learn some new terminology for next year?
A sixth year without a medical red shirt at some point. We've got. I've seen a lot of banter back and forth between these officials and these players a couple of different times. I've seen Hagel, Augustin, and Pittman laughing with each other. I think they're happy to be on the court.
Yeah, and they may be smiling, but it's hard to tell what they're saying to each other.
Could be some good-natured ribbing. It could be some serious stuff.
I bet it's serious.
A couple of free throws fall through for Gus Stone. The lead is back down to 7. Boy, Williams thought about taking another three. Pulls back from 18. Off the mark, the rebound tipped by D'Souza. The no-look dish from Luke LaRose to a cutting John Williams.
Great offensive rebound by LaRose. Williams flashing down the middle. On the other end, let me take a look at that. LaRose gets the offensive rebound. Nice no-look pass. Williams flashing down the middle. Nice scoop layup. Augustin there with the foul over by the bench and, you know, showing good sportsmanship, helping somebody else up. Hey, this is a ball game. People are going to get knocked down.
It is absolutely a ball game. 14:56 left. TV timeout will take it with them. 78-69. Glenville State on top.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them Hugs sent you.
Midstage Chevrolet, I-79, exit 67 in Flatwoods. We stock them deeper so we can sell them to you cheaper. West Virginia's #1 selling Chevy dealer with the area's widest selection, biggest inventory, and lowest prices guaranteed. Plus, we'll beat any other car dealership's price by $1,000 guaranteed. Only at Midstage Chevrolet, I-79, exit 67 in Flatwoods. Online anytime at midstagechevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
An injury at any age can be a game changer, but Marshall Orthopedics, the area's only comprehensive sports medicine practice, is ready to get you off the bench and back in the game. Marshall Orthopedics takes care of the herd. Let us take care of you.
Back inside the Doris W. and Walter F. Johnson III Arena. Andrew Miller joined by my partner, two-time NAIA National Coach of the Year, Bob Boland. We were prepared for that break, Coach. We weren't talking basketball or talking shop when we came back, but this game has been fantastic. A little run here in the last few minutes by Glenville State to extend this lead out to 10 at one point. Right now it stands at 9.
Yeah, Glenville, you know, and they took it to 10. They struck really, really quickly. You looked up, it was a 3-point game, and you look down the next time, and it's a 10-point game. And they've been able to hold it over the last couple minutes, but 14:56 to go. There's an eternity left in this one.
Coach, you mentioned the play right before we went to break. Augustin coming over to the sideline got a little bit of an undercut on Jeremiah Moore, attempting to get over there for a defensive play, and Moore went crashing to the ground. Augustin immediately checking on Moore, trying to help him out. And as we come back here, you look, the officials are over near Coach Brian Poore and looking at Jeremiah Moore. They had him sit down because I think they thought that he may have had a little bit of blood on his uniform, but they're going to let him back in the game, so apparently that wasn't the case.
That's the only thing that can slow down action in this one, and look how deep that was.
Trayon Watkins from downtown Charleston.
Yeah, Coach Poore told me when we were speaking before the game how deep that young man could shoot. He has range.
Absolutely. I have listed on my spot sheet Coach, I have listed on my spot sheet with Trayon Watkins. It says he has insane range / Steph Curry-like.
Oh, the deep. And then right there's Pittman and Augustin bumping into each other again. Mike Lazo raised his fist to call a foul on Pittman coming across the side, and we can take a look at that. And then Bryant Berry kind of waved him off.
Oh, Pittman got a little bit of a nudge there after the bucket.
Yeah, boy, it's hard to tell.
Augustin, how much of it was actual real hard physical contact versus pretty good acting? May have been a bit of both there.
Yeah, Augustin's out here smiling. Augustin is a straight ball player. I mean, going to the basket like he did.
Well, those two, Augustin and Pittman, have been back and forth, sometimes chippy, sometimes cheery, sometimes good-natured. And
that's going to happen this year, Andrew. There's no fans, so anything that goes on the court is going to be magnified. And Augustin has impressed me. I mean, he goes to the basket, he shoots the three, he can do it all.
He's got 29 points on 9 of 12 shooting.
Oh, my goodness.
5 of 7 from 3. And the one thing that I was speaking on was last year he was only a 61% free throw shooter. He's 6 of 7 so far. Here's another deep one from Watkins, trying to heat up. And that one off the mark a little bit. But look at Watkins coming up for the pass. And then it goes. Jeremiah Moore with the slam.
Moore gets in the open court. Boy, he flies above the rim.
Out top. John Williams wide open. You can't leave him.
Well, that's Glenville's. That's their style. You know, you got a dunk on that end. We get a three on our end. That's 1 point advantage for us.
Good crossover by Pittman.
Okay, there's Pittman. Now see if Glenville tries to get an open three down on this end.
Augustin just backed off, and Pittman took the easy bucket. Back to a 7-point lead. Williams crossing over in the lane. Pull up. 14-footer rolls off the side of the rim. Right there is Fallon, though. Back out to Williams. He'll drive on Stone this time.
He can just play. I mean, these kids are so good off the bounce. They're good three-point shooters. Just really hard to defend.
In the backcourt looking for a trap opportunity.
And look at Glenville bringing 4 substitutes in the game at once.
Montreal Horsey recognized that trap coming, got in front of Zane D'Souza, who will pick up his 3rd foul.
Look at the Williams crossover, head fake, layup. The ball skills of these Glenville players, 1 through 5. You know, they play positionless basketball. You know, all 5 of them can play the point. All 5 of them can play the 5 position.
They've led by as many as 10. The lead for Glenville State is 9. Watkins, Williams recognizing his range potential, gets way out on him. And we got a loose ball foul on the right sideline between Gus Eddy and Stefan Sherrod. Quite a size differential between the two.
Yeah.
Eddy goes at 5'9", Sherrod 6'7". Watkins on the left side wing, gets a screen out top. The reverse layup is good.
Watkins showing that he's not just a three-point shooter. Nice little reverse.
And we balloon back down to 7. Backing up, Williams, the step back 3, that one's short. Look at the hustle by Williams. Tommy Williams for 3. That's off the mark, though. And this time Moore will clear it. Horsey into the front court, hands it off to Stone. A good lob pass inside to the big man Moore. Turnaround jumper, though, off the mark. Stone. What a save. Inside to Moore again. Yeah. They're trying to feed the big man, Coach.
They are. And, I mean, West Virginia State's trying to get some easy baskets using their size advantage. And definitely with Abram out of the game, a great strategy. But then on the other end, if they get an easy one, you know, they're just having a hard time stopping Glenville.
Well, foul starting to mount up for the Pioneers. Tommy Williams has 4. Williams, Eddy, and Scarborough all with 3 fouls apiece. Eddy will check out. Back in comes Seth Fallon.
Boy, that's 19 for Jeremiah Moore right now. He's been getting those explosive dunks on the break, stepped up to the line, knocked them both down this time. 2
big free throws. He was 1 of 4 before that. But look at Glenville State attacking. Left-handed layup off the mark. Moore, another rebound in transition. Stone can't not get that one to fall. Maybe a little out of control there, Coach.
Well, Fallon does a lot of little things. Great rebound by Fallon on that end.
Edwards in
That's
the lane.
His shot. He likes to go to the left, contort his body, and shoot back to the right. And that's a difficult move, and he's really good at it.
When he did it the last time, Coach, I thought that looks awkward and uncomfortable. Apparently, that's his M.O.
Oh, that's about the 4th time tonight he's tried it. He's hit the last 2. You got to guard him. No help. No help off of that young man. Watkins is a pure shooter.
Watkins is feeling it. Now that's transitioning into his defense. He's up in the grill of Edwards. Watkins versus Edwards.
There he is again.
And that time I think Watkins may have got a piece of it.
Going left, shooting across his body with the right hand. There's State now. State is starting to get easy baskets, layups, a 2-point contest.
Coach Caldwell recognizes it and calls a timeout, but a big, quick 11-4 run in the last 2.5 minutes for West Virginia State, capped off by that bucket by Stephon Sherrod. We got a 2-point contest, 87-85.
With all that's going on, Mullen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling wants to remind our neighbors we're here for you. We're taking extra precautions to protect you and our employees. Right now, we're offering 6-month no-interest financing to help you stay comfortable throughout this crisis. Our superior indoor air filtration options will keep viruses, bacteria, and allergens down, increasing indoor air quality, comfort, and safety. Call us today and see how we can help you. Mullen, we're comfortable when you are.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them Hugs sent you.
You have dreams.
Where do you start to build the skills necessary to make them happen?
At West Virginia State, you learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
87-85, Glenville State hanging on to the lead over West Virginia State. An 11-4 run, Coach, of the last 2:25, though, for West Virginia State. A big timeout called by Coach Caldwell. If you're in the huddle there, what do you say?
Well, I'm sure he's talking to West Virginia State's getting too many easy baskets. Glenville's going to have to get down and guard the ball better, but they're also going to have to help. Now, obviously, you cannot help off of Watkins, but everybody else needs to help make State kick it out and shoot a three-pointer because they're getting too many easy layups right now.
Maybe a calm down timeout for Coach Caldwell. Augustin back in the ball game for the Pioneers. He has been exceptional tonight. Out top, Williams. Jab step, spins in the lane. The scoop layup is good.
He's got it all. He's got the three-point shot. He hangs in the air. Williams is a solid wing basketball player.
He has 18 points now, and he is driven nicely after a pair of deep threes. Here's Horsey down the left side, draws the contact, and the foul on Fallon.
Now, if you watch that there, Edwards on the reach. Watch the reach here on Edwards. See, he just reached in with his right hand and his butt to the sideline. He needs to slide in with his feet, get his chest in front of the defender, and make him kick that ball out for a three. Because they have the State right now is thinking we're going to shoot a layup every trip. Glenville has to change that if they want to maintain this lead.
Big three-point play for Montrell Horsey. He's got 10 in double digits now. That's 5 for the Yellow Jackets in double figures. Actually 6 in double figures, as we've got a whistle underneath on the drive. I'll tell you what, Nicholas Edwards is pressing the action, Coach.
He is, and State is not helping a lot off of him. They're trying to make him finish. State is staying with the three-point shooters. I think Glenville will try to get Augustin back involved. Obviously Augustin and Williams can both shoot the three-pointer. They both drive to the basket really well, and they're the main offensive weapons for the Pioneers right now.
Pioneers will send D'Souza back in to replace Adrian Scarborough at the 10-19 mark. Edwards for his second. That's off back rim. And Watkins comes in to clear the board for West Virginia State. Here's a pass underneath. Sherrod wide open on the block. That almost rimmed out.
Yeah. Again, West Virginia State, another basket within 3 feet of the rim.
And we are tied for the first time in a while. A whistle, and that's going to be Augustin as Pittman slides over to take the charge. Coach, those two have been at each other all night making plays, and Pittman got there just in time for that big charge.
Let's see if he did. Close one. I'll just say that one on there. 90 to 90, 9:58 left. A close one.
My goodness, this has been a wonderful opening game of the conference season. You look at these two mirror images at the moment as far as field goal shooting. Glenville State at 52.5% shooting, 50.8 for West Virginia State. Glenville State has made one more basket than West Virginia State. 3-point field goals, 46.1% for Glenville on 12 of 26, 42.8 for West Virginia State on 9 of 21. Very similar from the free throw line, 16 of 22 for Glenville, 21 of 26 for West Virginia State. The rebounding advantage that Glenville had in the first half is maintaining. They have not increased it or decreased it. It's at 12 right now, 37-25. But this has just been a wonderful back and forth. It looked for a second, Coach, like the Pioneers might move out to that danger zone of 15 to 20 points when they were hitting a run. It never happened. It never came to fruition. West Virginia State got very busy.
Yeah, and West Virginia State started driving it to the basket every possession. Now Glenville needs to change that. And on the other end, Glenville's hard to guard. All 5 of them put it on the floor. All 5 of them can do it. We have a great game. 2 well-coached teams, 2 teams playing at a high level. We're going to see who makes the adjustments right now. And the adjustment for Glenville is they got to stop the dribble penetration, make somebody hit a 3 other than Watkins. Don't let him hit the 3. But State is doing this comeback with Abram out of the game.
Abram picked up 4 fouls earlier in the second half.
Goodness.
Here's another deep one. Watkins, a heat check 3, and that one off the mark. Edwards losing the dribble. Luckily for him, Augustin right there to take it. He'll step back, fires the 3, and a lot of contact there on the 3 between he and Pittman.
Well, Augustin stuck that right leg out trying to draw the foul, and good no call there. Augustin's just got a little quiet here. He's got to get that mojo back and start taking over the game.
Yeah, Augustin with 29 points on the night to lead all scorers. But he's been a little cold, as you mentioned here, for the past few minutes. Here's an attack again. Trayon Watkins, he got under the rim or under the backboard and took it up left-handed with some spin. First lead for West Virginia State since the 9:23 mark of the first half, Coach. They've been keeping it close, battling back, got it tied, and the first lead since the first half early. Fallon's 3 missing off the mark. We've got a whistle on the baseline, and they will whistle Edwards with his heels on that back line.
Let's look at this. Watkins with you have to guard him 30 feet from the basket because he can shoot it. Nice little hesitation, good finish. Again, Glenville has to come over with the help and make State shoot a 3-pointer. Somebody other than Watkins.
And they've hit another run, have West Virginia State, a 7-1 run. For the last 157, nearing the 8:40 mark of the ball game. A 2-point State lead. I should say West Virginia State. Here's Pittman left wing.
And see, that's what Glenville wants State to do right there.
Been making their hay here in the second half with the drive. Speaking of, Augustin attacking, challenging Shockley, and winning that battle.
Oh, he just has great hesitation. He has a great offensive repertoire.
See if that reignites Augustin, who has been a little bit silent here.
Hey, I have 31, Coach, but I've been silent the last 4 minutes. He's a player. 92 all.
Now top, Stephon Sherrod going to work against Augustin. Got to be careful. He's got 3 fouls. Left-handed, left side jumper, no good. Somehow, though, Gus Stone ends up with it, and he puts it up and in.
Yeah, Glenville had 2 players running towards the other end. They got to get that rebound first.
Underneath, we got body contact. Shockley falls to the ground trying to take the charge.
And
Williams goes down with him.
But a good play by Shockley. It's a block, but he's coming to help. They're not giving up layups. He came to help. He got the block. Make Glenville go earn it from the line.
Unfortunately for Shockley, he picks up number 4. And that sends Williams to the free throw line. And Williams now 2 for 3 from the line. He has 19 points, 7 of 14 shooting, 3 of 6 from behind the three-point line. He brings the Pioneers to within 1. Second free throw hits back iron. Shockley there to clear it. A 1-point ball game. What a contest. Opening night of the Mountain East Conference. Watkins calling for a screen from Shockley, won't take it now. D'Souza gets into him, and Watkins goes sliding. That's going to be Zane D'Souza on the foul, and that's going to be number 3 on him. Actually, they've got 4 listed on the board there, Coach.
Yeah, Watkins is just so deceptive. He shoots it so well, and look at him. Nice little hesitation. Had the help defender there that time, but definitely a bump, and I don't know how Watkins could miss a free throw the way he can shoot the ball. Again, the pace slowed down, but
first one a little short. Now, D'Souza's got 3 on our list, 4 on the official scoreboard, so we're not sure what he has actually. He will be taken out anyway as Tommy Williams will check back in. Now, Williams has 4 fouls of his own, but you're down to this point right now, Coach. 7:30 left. You got a deep bench, as you've seen. Even with 4 fouls, you get some minutes out of Williams, some good minutes.
Right, I'm sure Coach Caldwell told me you just have to play. You can't worry about fouling out. If you have to slide over and try to get a charge, you have to do it and live with the consequences. We're in a 2-point game with 7:30 to go.
Here's Augustin after the 2-point bucket. This one missing. Williams there for the loose ball rebound. Back in the corner. Augustin for 3.
Again, Tommy Williams making things happen. Great offensive rebound. Found the 3-point shooter. Got Augustin going again.
Glenville State back in front by 1. Pittman tried to answer, couldn't. Look at Shockley's hustle, but he couldn't hold his feet. Got to give that kid credit, though, for the hustle.
Oh, great hustle. There's Tommy Williams on the other end. Offensive board, finding Augustin for the 3.
And you talk about natural or pure shooters. He just missed one, Coach. That did not enter his mind frame when he got that one in the corner. Just couldn't wait to get another one.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for him to miss 2 in a row.
Edwards out top, into the
again.
corner. Another one.
They can't. The State cannot help off Augustin.
Hagel Augustin with 37 back-to-back threes. Glenville State back out in front by 4 now.
Yeah, State has to make Edwards finish that at the rim. So you can't help off Augustin, and you can't help off of Watkins.
Here's Watkins on the attack. We got a whistle, body contact. You saw Augustin trying to hold his position there, but Watkins very elusive in air, avoided that contact. So at the point of, I believe, Watkins falling, that's when Augustin just fell to try to draw the charge.
Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, he fell early. I mean, he's in good position, but he started falling early and got the block. Boy, Augustin does so many things well. You'd almost, right here on the other end, we had a drive. You can't help off Augustin.
Very impressed with the athleticism of Trayon
Watkins. Right there it is. The help came from the ball side. The help for the layup has to come from the opposite side, and you can't give Augustin a great shot with his feet set.
So you hate to see Augustin pick up number 4 the way he did, but he'll have to check out of the ball game with 6:29 remaining. Watkins hit the first, now makes the second, and climbs West Virginia State back to within 2. They got to get back, though. Here comes Edwards attacking, drawing the contact. Again, that is his comfort.
Oh, going left and shooting across his body to the right. I promise you this, when if State gets that lead back, Augustine will not be sitting over there very long.
6:24 mark, that's foul number 2 on Anthony Pittman, who again was a forward on this team last year, has to step in to the point guard role, and he has played a great game here this evening. Pittman with 11 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, and 3 steals.
He's filling up that stat sheet.
Couple of free throws for Edwards. Now Edwards is going to get whistled for contact with the body. He doesn't like it, but Coach, you just can't ride that dribbler down the side of the court.
Yeah, that's a close one. And then, the bad part for Glenville, you're fouling the best shooter in the gymnasium. And let's see, he is a close one, just riding him just a little bump. Watkins probably did a good job of selling it. And here comes Augustine after his great 21-second rest.
Watkins, after missing his first free throw, has made 4 in a row. 4 of 5, make that 5 of 6, and he is keeping West Virginia State within striking distance here, 101-99. Glenville State on top of West Virginia State. They'll get it into the hands of Edwards.
West Virginia State showing I thought they were in a little zone. They're just in a big help man.
Williams, he can light it up. He'll feed it inside instead to Scarborough. Good defense by Sherrod. Out on the left wing, though.
He's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
3 threes in a row for Hagel Augustine. He's got 40. Trying to answer. Watkins just a little strong off the back iron. That would have been a big 3 for West Virginia State. Once again, Augustine out top. Is he feeling it? Over to Edwards instead. He'll drive past Pittman. The lefty layup.
Wow, good move by Edwards. Nice finish at the rim. 7-point lead for the Pioneers.
That was great defense by Pittman, but that was a better play by Edwards, getting that ball with his left hand way out of the reach of Pittman. 5:15 left. Watkins on the right wing, loses the dribble. Williams 2-on-1, gets it off to Williams. Williams to Williams.
Sounds like a law firm.
Tommy to John, a big run, 14-5 over the last 3 minutes. And after West Virginia State took a 4-point lead, Glenville State comes roaring back, and they lead it by 9. 5:04 left in this one, 108 Glenville, 99 for State.
Have dreams.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
For more than 125 years, West Virginia State University has been educating generations of students who have gone on to change the world.
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
Back inside the Doris W. and Walter F. Johnson Third Arena on the campus of West Virginia State University. Andrew Miller, my partner, two-time NAIA National Coach of the Year, Bob Boland. We have been treated to an opening game of the MEC Conference here tonight. Back and forth go Glenville State and West Virginia State. State roared back to take their first lead since the first half at the 10-minute mark by 4, and immediately Hagel Augustine says, nope, we're not going to do that. He comes back, a 16-5 run, Coach, over the last 3 minutes to give Glenville State a 9-point advantage.
40 points on 18 shots for Augustine. I mean, you're talking about efficient basketball. It's 10 o'clock. It's past my bedtime, Andrew, and these guys, I mean, they're just playing amazing basketball.
Glenn Abram back in the ball game for the first time in quite a while. Remember, he picked up, Coach, his 4th foul early in the second half. He's been on the bench for quite a while.
It was at the 15-minute mark, so he's set over there 11 game minutes, and usually you try to touch it once before you let that deep three go.
Had a wide open look, missed off the back rim. Edwards attacking, dishing. Out to Augustin, 40 points. He'll drive into 2 defenders. Dishes to Tommy Williams, and Williams spun into a couple of defenders and shuffled his feet. And the turnover will give it back to West Virginia State. I tell you, it's been a very clean game turnover-wise, Coach. Neither team giving it up a bunch, just 10 for Glenville and 10 for State.
Both teams are just so difficult to defend. I mean, you pack it in, they shoot threes. If you extend your defense, they drive by you. Again, now State's gone away from attacking that basket. They've settled for a few jumpers last time. Now they're right back to attacking the basket again. Foul called on the dribble.
Yeah, I think the spark was that outside shot, and I think that may have opened up the lanes for West Virginia State. But Glenville State, when they called that timeout down 4, they adjusted defensively, and West Virginia State just went away from what was working. So they go back with Abram right now. As you see him attacking, they'll wave off that basket. Yeah, and Abram able to hit the first free throw.
And after sitting out for so long, Abram able to see that free throw go in the basket. You know, that may ignite him.
Misses the second, though, 1 of 2. He's got 19 points on the night. 108-100. A former coach of mine said to break these games up into 4-minute increments. We're on the last 4.
And in the D1 games, they give you a timeout every 4 minutes. They do. TV timeout every 4 minutes.
Williams attacking on Abram, noticing that he's got those 4 fouls. Loose ball, just both guys going at it. And Pittman able to get there before John Williams. Williams gets the foul.
That was a big possession. You remember that one, Andrew. 108-100 at the 3:40 mark. Williams got a good look at a 12-footer, missed it. And it was immediately whistled for the foul. You know, it could have been a 10-point game, and now it looks like it's got a good chance of being a 6-point game. So that's a big play in this game right there.
First free throw off the mark for Pittman. Tommy Williams checking out. Seth Fallon back in. Foul trouble for Glenville State right now. 4 players with 4. Edwards, Augustin, Williams, and Williams. Glenn Abram with 4 for West Virginia State. 1 of 2. For Anthony Pittman, and the lead cut back down to 7, 3:35 left.
West Virginia State, they're just switching everything in their man-to-man. It almost looks like a 1-2-2 zone.
3 for Williams, too strong. Look at the height that Pittman got on that rebound. My goodness. He'll look to attack. Dishes out top. Over to Gus Stone, the lefty for 3. A big bucket for Gus Stone.
Gus Stone's got a smooth left-hand stroke. Now it's a 4-point game. That was so smooth, you don't see these new nets get tangled up, but that one hit nothing but net and able to flip that net up.
Again, Stone missed all last year with a multitude of injuries. His first game in over a year, 19 points. 3 of 4 from 3, 6 of 6 from the free throw line.
West Virginia State has adjusted to a 1-2-2 zone right now, and Glenville needs to make an adjustment, put their shooters in the corner and 2 guards and 1 person at the free throw line. Let's see if State stays with that 1-2-2 zone on this out-of-bounds play.
Edwards unable to connect on the drive. He'll take it out of bounds. Augustin in the deep left corner.
Went back. Okay, here they go.
Sherrod, boy, he had an eye on Augustin. Here's Fallon coming off a screen to the left elbow, a whistle on the rebound. Pittman is down, holding the back of his head.
Boy, move by Brian Poore here. You played man the first 34 minutes of the game and going to this zone late, and it's giving Glenville a little trouble.
I'm going to check on Anthony Pittman, who has been so active You see Fallon's jumper, and again, loose ball action, just looking for the loose ball. And I'm telling you what, I think what happened was Pittman, as he was falling to the ground, a Glenville State player was coming to crash the boards, and Pittman may have taken a shot from a knee to the back of his head. And he's up and walking it off, but I tell you what, he doesn't look like he's feeling all that well at the moment, and this could be a very tough loss right now for West Virginia State. You hope Pittman is okay.
Yeah.
But you lose that presence on the floor as well.
Yeah, Pittman's been good on both ends. Good shot blocker from the point guard position. He's handled the ball. He's distributed the ball. He's played a really solid game.
So Pittman will be checked on by the athletic training staff. The foul is against Pittman, which is kind of odd. It just, as you saw the replay, Coach, that's kind of an odd foul on Pittman.
Was.
But it was obviously the knee of Scarborough, who is at the free throw line.
Yeah, and right now is where you miss the crowd. You know, it's a 5-point game with 2:41, and, you know, that's the difference. It would be loud and crazy in here, and it's
second free throw off the mark. And a big rebound for Jeremiah Moore. He'll look to attack. We got a whistle. Boy, it looked like Glenville State may have a turnover, but we're going to get a reach-in foul on Glenville State, and that's going to go against Scarborough.
That's a big one there. Glenville would have had a run out there and a reach-in foul called.
So you've got 4 fouls apiece for Glenville. Scarborough, Augustin, Williams, Edwards, and Williams. All 5 with 4 apiece. Good news for West Virginia State. Pittman is okay. He's back in the game.
Yeah, the replay there looks like Moore just lost the handle there, and that's a close one to go against Glenville.
Missing the first free throw, hits the second. It's a 4-point game. 2:35 remaining. What a game here tonight, the opening night of MEC basketball. Screen out top. Into the corner, Augustin off back rim. Pittman right there for another rebound. From behind, he'll be fouled. A reach-in is going to be called on Seth Fallon.
Fallon going to the offensive boards, getting called for the reach-in there.
That will be the 3rd foul. Nope, that'll be the 4th foul on Seth Fallon. So you've now got 4 Glenville State players or 6 Glenville State players with 4 fouls apiece. Big free throws here for Pittman. You can cut it to a 1-possession ball game. First one up and in. Pittman's had a nice night. 13 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocked shots. And a partridge in a pear tree, Coach. He's got it all.
Yeah, Pittman's been all over the court.
2 of 2 from the line. Abram clapping his hands together for West Virginia State, trying to get them fired up defensively. Out top, Edwards. He'll work the perimeter. Now Edwards doesn't use the screen, attacks the rim. Off the back iron, no good. On the rebound by Scarborough, we got a reach-in.
Big rebound by Scarborough.
They're going to whistle that foul on number 23, Stephon Sherrod, on the reach after the shot, before the shot went up for Scarborough. So they're whistling 1 plus the bonus. Big free throw for Scarborough, falls through.
Yeah,
and they gave that point to West Virginia State for a second. So it's now a 3-point game.
Yeah, Scarborough able to hit the free throws last time he went to the line. Nice and calm at the free throw line.
And the second rattles home. That's important, Coach. It makes it a 2-possession lead for Glenville.
Glenville called off the press the first time tonight.
Moore out top, working against Scarborough. Off to Abram. Left wing 3. In and pops back out. Look at Pittman there for the rebound and the putback.
Big play by Pittman.
Just continues to make big play after big play. Went after a steal. Here comes Edwards attacking. The up and under layup is no good, but a whistle and a foul. And that's going to be another on Stephon Sherrod. You looked at that three, Abram just off the mark, but my goodness, the play and the hustle of Anthony Pittman. As good as advertised, Coach.
Yeah, huge play by Pittman.
First free throw for Edwards is good. He now has 14 points on the evening. 6 of 9 from the free throw line. Second shot up and good. Again, free throws are very important for Glenville, trying to keep a 2-possession lead. West Virginia State just got to keep fighting and finding open looks. Here's a backdoor cut, and that's going to go out of bounds. Jeremiah Moore was calling for a kickball or a touch by the defense. It was initially called Glenville State's basketball, but coming in is the official Mike Lazo to discuss it. He's got to come out and explain it to a very angry Coach Justin Caldwell, who obviously would disagree with that one, but State with possession. 1:20 left. In the corner, Abram, he'll fire for three. That one's way too strong. Augustin tracks down the rebound. For West Virginia State, Coach, got to play really good defense here, right?
Yeah, I think Glenville's going to work clock. This ought to be interesting.
Goes against everything they know. Out top, Augustin. This would be huge. Off the side rim, rebound knocked out of bounds. Last touched by Scarborough. Boy, a heat check again for Augustin, who, by the way, has 40 points on the evening.
Both teams look exhausted. 4-point game. I think Glenville still has to protect the basket. Don't give up a layup.
Big possession for West Virginia State. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Abram's going to fire from way downtown. And a big bucket for Abram. My goodness.
Yeah, that was deep, and Abram had missed his 2 previous threes. You can tell he's a confident basketball player. I mean, look how deep. He's about 5 feet behind the three. Knocks it down. Nothing but net. 1-point game. Are you sensing an overtime, Andrew?
If you're a shooter throughout. And he had missed a couple badly right before that on back-to-back series. Just ice water in the veins for Glenn Abram, coming back off of a tremendous season last year. He's got 22 on 6 of 16 shooting, 4 threes in this one. None bigger than that shot that cuts the lead down to 1 point for Glenville State. And you said it. Do you think overtime? I tell you what, 40 minutes might not be enough. We've missed out on basketball for so long, Coach. I'll take an extra little bit.
Well, Andrew, since State started playing, some possessions it looks like a real slagging off man, and some possessions it looks like a 1-2-2. Since they've gone to that, Glenville has not made a field goal the last 4 minutes and 24 seconds. Everything they've got is from the free throw line. Augustin, you got to go with either him or Williams driving to the basket right here, trying to make something happen. 43 seconds left. State will get the ball back with 13 seconds if Glenville decides to go deep into the shot clock.
Edwards crossing the timeline. He'll stand near the center circle.
They better find Augustin.
Out top, Edwards will drive to the basket. Has
basket good.
Knocked away by Pittman, but I think that was on the way down. A good challenge by Moore first.
Yeah, the ball hit the backboard first. Excellent call. Nice drive to the basket off the backboard first, goaltending.
But what that does, Coach, is that it provides West Virginia State with an opportunity to have time to work with. What do you draw up 24.9 seconds? Do you go quickly, try to get a quick bucket and play some more defense? How would you attack this 24.9 seconds?
Well, for West Virginia State, you definitely don't want to settle for a three right now. You drive to the basket. Now, if Glenville over-helps, you look for the three. If you're Glenville, you do not help off Abram. You do not help off Abram. You try to play solid man-to-man. With State not having Watkins in the game, I believe you can. You definitely don't want to help off of Gus Stone, and you don't want to help off Abram. Other than that, they can help and force the drive, but for State, you want a quick bucket, get down and play the foul game with Glenville.
24.9 seconds remaining.
And
I looked to the West Virginia State sideline after that break to see if Watkins would come back in. He did not. But you do have, again, as you said, Stone and Abram, 3-point threats, but you got a lot of ability to drive to the hoop. And it looks like the clock started a little bit early. Pittman was faking grabbing it.
Oh, yeah, well, that'll be an advantage for Glenville. Now look for Glenville to go ahead and put some pressure on to make Pittman pick that ball up earlier. To get some of those minutes off. I would expect them to do that and not let Pittman let it roll up the court. Well, they're going to let him roll it up there again.
So 24.9. Pittman lets it roll to the front court. Over to Abram. Down inside, Moore. One-on-one versus Scarborough. They're rolling a couple screens for Abram. He takes a shot, nearly gets it to fall. And Abram is going to go to the line with 3 free throws. And that foul, perhaps none bigger, that's Hagel-Augustin, Coach. And Hagel-Augustin is out.
Boy. That looks like an Academy Award for Abram there.
They sent a couple of screeners near the foul line, and Abram rolled off of both of those.
And that takes Augustin out of the game. Glenville's primary weapon the entire evening. These are 3 big free throws here. I look for Abram to knock the bottom out of all 3 of those.
He calmly buries the first when it's a 2-point game. 14.6 on the clock. Second for Abram. That one rattles out. Again, you got time. You got 14.6.
Oh, yeah, but now West Virginia State's going to have to foul. They'll go for a steal, maybe one turn on defense, and then a quick foul. But if he made all 3 of those, they did not have to foul.
And he'll calmly hit the third, 2 of 3. That was a big third free throw, Coach. The reason it was is because if you do foul, they can only get a couple of buckets on free throws. It's still a one-possession ball game at that point.
Exactly. And, Brian Poor's drawing up right now with 14.6 seconds left. They will go for the first trap. West Virginia State will go for a 5-second call on the inbounds. If Glenville gets it in, they'll go for one trap, make Glenville execute out of the trap, and then they'll foul. Now, on Glenville's side, Coach Caldwell's telling them if Glenville has one timeout left if the scoreboard's correct. So he's telling them if you can't get the ball inbounds, use your timeout. Once you get it in, if there's any trouble, you can use your timeout. Now, what Glenville doesn't want to do is get that ball in the coffin corner and have to call a timeout, because that's a difficult place to re-inbound the basketball.
14.6 seconds. I want to thank one of our sponsors, L&P Construction in Hurricane, West Virginia, nailing it down with perfection. Give them a call at 304-553-9121. Don't wait for an opportunity. Create it. L&P Construction. Here we go.
The offensive player can run the baseline. That's a huge advantage after a made free throw.
Fallon will trigger it inbound. Looking, gets it into that corner.
There's
That's a dangerous place. And they went for the trap, and a reach-in foul is whistled on Jeremiah Moore. Just his second.
And Moore, that's where State wanted the ball to go. Moore is only 3 for 7 from the line. That's exactly what State wanted. We'll see. State playing the percentages there.
So Nicholas Edwards, the transfer from Palm Beach State College in Lake Worth, Florida, at the line. He has been very solid, as have many tonight on both sides. His dribble drive ability has been very good. He's got 18 after that free throw to make it 117-114. 13 seconds left. State moving quickly. Pittman. He'll attack and dish. Here's a left wing 3 off the back rim. Pittman a rebound. Out to Stone for 3. Off back rim, 2 seconds. 1 second. At the buzzer, Abrams, no good.
Boy.
What a finish to the ball game, Coach. 3 opportunities, 2 for Abram and 1 for Gus Stone, and they all fall off the mark.
Boy, I tell you what a game we got to watch. West Virginia State with 3 opportunities there. You know, that's one where the players say we stopped them at the end of the game, and the coach says, no, we gave them 3 opportunities. But Glenville very happy to get out of here with a win against a very talented West Virginia State team.
Well, kudos to both of these teams for the battle they put forth here tonight. Somebody's got to walk away a winner. Tonight it was Glenville State by a final score of 117 to 114. Take a break for our sponsors. When we come back, we'll recap the ball game. We'll look at some stats, and we'll finish things up here tonight from West Virginia State.
Nestled in the rolling hills of central West Virginia, Glenville State College has been a beacon of light in the Mountain State since 1872. Glenville State College offers a diverse selection of degree programs that provide something for everyone. At Glenville State College, you have the opportunity to explore new paths, challenge yourself, and grow. You can be a pioneer.
FCA has incredible impact on coaches, the teams, the players, and the community as well.
It's changed our lives. It's changed mine as a husband, as a father, and as a coach.
It does make an impact on our lives.
FCA has become a full circle in our lives.
People from all different kinds of backgrounds.
If all we're going to be is a coach that happens to be a Christian, I think it's more important to be a Christian that happens to be a coach.
You wear it every day, so let's make your smile a priority. Dr. Joey Atkins and the friendly staff at Elk Family Dentistry are here to help you have a smile you can be proud of. Dr. Atkins treats patients of all ages for preventative and cosmetic dentistry. Make your appointment today by calling 304-965-6661. Elk Family Dentistry, making your life better with a beautiful smile.
I'm Stuart Caldwell. For more than 40 years, I and my firm have vindicated the rights of individuals hurt by defective drugs, defective chemicals, and other products. Now I'm teaming with Booth to take on the big drug companies to vindicate the rights of children born with NAS. There are significant legal proceedings that could affect you and your child's legal rights.
If you're the parent or guardian of a child who you believe was born dependent on opioids, you need to act.
Final score here tonight from West Virginia State University. You see it on the screen, 117-114, Glenville State over West Virginia State. This was one heck of a way to begin the Mountain East Conference schedule this season. These two teams, you knew that West Virginia State had a lot of expectations coming in, had a lot of returning players, and were very, very high on them, on their abilities. Glenville State, we weren't quite sure what to expect. They lost so many from last year's program. They brought in a bunch of transfers this year, and we wondered how they would gel. Obviously, they gelled quite well. This was a game of runs, Coach. Back and forth it went, but you don't so much say West Virginia State didn't play well as I think Glenville State proved very quickly this year. They will be for real. They will be a force to be reckoned with, and West Virginia State should be able to take from this, wow, we've got some ability, some talent too, a few things to clean up. But this was a very good game, just a good game from start to finish, a lot of high-level play.
Oh, I thought we had two teams playing great basketball, both teams offensively taking advantage of the defensive weaknesses of their opponents. Augustin, best player in the gymnasium, maybe the best player in Charleston, as long as Jason Williams or Keith Tyler aren't around here tonight. He played tremendous basketball. And you look at those last three three-pointers for State. If one of those goes in, we're going to overtime, and Glenville does not have Augustin in the game. So State would have had a huge advantage in overtime. As it turned out, Glenville was able to hang on for the win, and old Justin Caldwell, the old boxer, who only lost one time around here. His other two losses were in the National Fighter. He dodged 3 hard punches there at the end of the game.
What an amazing ball game. And again, it came down to threes at the end. What an amazing, amazing contest we saw here tonight. This was a back-and-forth affair. The game changed leads 11 separate times. We had 7 ties in the ball game. Neither team led by more than 10. Only a couple times did Glenville State lead by 10. a few different times. West Virginia State led by 4 in this one. This was a very similar statistical game tonight. Glenville State shooting 50% even from the field on 38 of 76 shooting. They were 42.8% from 3 on 15 of 35 shooting. Free throws, 26 of 34. They shot very well as a team, 76%. 10 turnovers in the ball game, and they out-rebounded West Virginia State 48-37. West Virginia State shot the ball very well after the first 3 minutes of the game, 47.2% on 35 of 74 shooting. 35% from behind the three-point line on 11 of 31. They went to the free throw line 43 times, hitting 33, 76% shooting. They only turned the ball over 7 times here tonight. And again, the rebounding advantage, 48-37 in favor of Glenville State. Individually, again, leading all scorers, Glenville State's Hagel Augustin just coming back with a force. 40 points on 13 of 20 shooting. He was 8 of 14 from behind the three-point line, hit 6 of 7 from the three-point line. He also chipped in on 13 rebounds in this ball game, so a double-double to lead things for Hagel Augustin, who were followed up by John Williams, the transfer coming in and showing what he's capable of. 21 points on 8 of 17 shooting. He hit 3 threes from behind the line. Nick Edwards chipping in with 19 points on 5 of 12 shooting, 9 of 12 from the three-point line, and then you had 13 apiece from Adrian Scarborough and Zane D'Souza. Leading the way for West Virginia State was Glenn Abram. After having some foul trouble at the 15-minute mark, he was out for a good bit of the second half, but he finishes with 24 points on 6 of 17 shooting, 4 of 13 from behind the three-point line. He was 8 of 11 from the free throw line. Jeremiah Moore with 21, 9 of 13 shooting. He also chipped in on 9 rebounds tonight, just 1 shy of a double-double. Augustus Stone coming back after a year off, 19 points on 5 of 9 shooting, and 6 of 6 from the free throw line. Anthony Pittman, a do-it-all player, finishes with 16 points on 4 of 16 shooting, 8 of 10 from the line. He also had a double-double with 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 blocks, and 2 steals for Pittman. Trayon Watkins finishes with 18, and Montrell Horsey finishes with 10. Coach, what a contest.
I don't know what there's left to say. For State, Abram and Pittman really stood out. Solid players. Pittman can play the point. That's obvious. There's positives for both teams to take. Augustin was tremendous. It was a fun game to watch. We're getting spoiled to start the college year off with a 117 to 114 game. If they all could be like this, we would be thrilled.
Both teams in action on Sunday as Glenville State will open up their home stand welcoming University of Charleston, and West Virginia State will be on the road at Concord. That'll do it for us here tonight. You've been watching live coverage of Mountain East Conference basketball on Video Productions, brought to you by Little General Stores. For my partner, Bob Bolin, I'm Andrew Miller. Our crew tonight, Robbie Mounts working the computers, camera operators Josiah Mounts and Garrett Lester. Executive producer for Video Productions is Butch Mounts.